Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. Last week was one of my favorite weeks of the month. It was the all important jobs week, where we get the latest read on the health of the labor market and the health of the economy. So, in this week's Main Street Macro blog, I'm going to walk you through the week that was, starting with Monday. On Monday, we got a manufacturing survey that showed us that the manufacturing sector was thinking that maybe hiring wasn't in its future. In fact, that survey pointed to slower worker gains over the next several months. That led into Tuesday. On Tuesday, we got a government report that is the key indicator of labor market turnover. And the Federal Reserve and a lot of people watch this report to look at the number of job openings as a signal to hiring demand. Guess what we found? We found that job openings, which have been at a record high for several months now, fell by 1 million job postings. So less vacancies, signaling less demand, and maybe slower hiring with heading into the fall. Now, Wednesday, I'm not going to lie, Wednesday's my favorite day of the week because that is the day that the ADP Research Institute releases the ADP National Employment Report. And what we found was some steady hiring in September, but the real highlight of that report was the pay insights, because in that we found that for job stayers, their annual salary rose by 7.8% compared to a year ago. That's a signal that companies are trying really hard to hold on to their workers at this point. And we saw something different for the first time for job switchers. Job switchers have been having double digit pay gains for the better part of a year now. And for the first time in the record of this report, we've seen a deceleration in job stayers' pay gains. They're not seeing the same pay growth they did from switching jobs as they did a year ago. And this may signal that wages may slowly start to stabilize. And that's good news for the Fed, who's concerned that wages could lead to more inflation. Now, what happened the rest of the week? On Thursday, we received information on layoffs. And on Friday, the government brought us home, ended the week with their take on the latest jobs data for September. Now, we know that the pace of the labor market is changing very quickly, but don't worry, we're keeping track of all of these changes every day of the week. And so, for a detailed readout of the labor market and the week that was, please check out our blog at adpri.org.